camera.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, go.
You're listening to Lincoln Railsplitter football on a Friday night, so far under the sun, but eventually we'll be underneath the lights. Ken Schweitzer. And it's our first trip to Clinton. Quite a short trip. And what are we in? Dwight County? We go to so many counties.
Yeah, I don't know. But it was a short trip for us, the shortest of the year on our road games. And glad to open the season here at Clinton. We opened last year with them in Lincoln. And so it's time to reverse it and come over here for an opener of the season.
And you're listening to the Lincoln Railsplitter Experience somewhere out there over the radio. And now it's time to check in with Coach Schweitzer and Me Realty, the sponsor of the game. And they would like to check tonight's list of the game. And, of course, that's sponsored by Me Realty. List your home with Me Realty when it's time to sell. And if you're looking to buy, check the listings at merealty.com. And, Coach, you've got 3 lists or key points to the game.
Yeah, it's for the season opener, you never know what to expect. And so I'm sure the coaching staff, the first thing they're going to look for and hope for is some good execution. They've spent a whole summer and a preseason here getting ready for the season opener, so they're going to hope to see some good execution. Number 2, they want to try to limit mistakes. In a first game of the season, you're bound to have some mistakes, and it goes for both teams. But if they can limit the number of those, that'll be something they're looking for. And finally, I think number 3, they wanted to see the players out there on the field play with a lot of passion, a lot of confidence, and they seem to think that that's going to be a thing that's going to carry them away. So they will play with a lot of passion all season long, and they're going to start tonight here with a season opener.
Well, thank you, Coach Schweitzer, and that's tonight's list of the game brought to you by Me Realty. When you're ready to list your home, contact the professionals at Me Realty. And as we told you, we're in Clinton tonight. Should be an exciting game. We were talking up here in the press box to Coach Velakovich before the game, and Coach, he says the esprit de corps of the team is quite high.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of, we've mentioned confidence, and they've got a lot of confidence. The team's a little different than previous teams. They've got a lot of speed, more speed, I think, than they've had in quite a while. Coach Sokowski, in his 7th season here as the head coach at Lincoln, he told me that they're going to see a little difference in their passing game than we've seen in the past. New quarterback this year, Darren Stevens, who's a junior this year. He was the backup last year quarterback and played on defense, but he's going to be the starting quarterback tonight, and he can throw the ball, maybe not as deep as his predecessor, but he's got some good, quick receivers out there, out of the backfield and on the wide receivers.
Well, this will be a good learning game for Darren. He's a smart kid, and his first varsity start. He's one of the captains for the Railsplitters, and there's 5 captains this year, along with Darren Stevens. There's seniors Ryan O'Donohue, Jaden Ledley, Isaac Decker, and we've watched Decker since he's a sophomore. He's quite a talent. Peyton Johnson, also another. Those are the 5 captains for the Railsplitters this year.
Yeah, the Railers, we're looking at their roster tonight, Bob. They've only listed 10 seniors, but they've got 14 juniors and 13 sophomores on their roster, plus a few freshmen dressed for the game tonight. So I think the numbers are up a little bit from previous years. One of the good indications of that is, at least starting tonight, they're not going to have any two-way starters on the offensive defensive line, so that's a good sign.
Railsplitters in their white road uniforms with the white helmets and the green numerals. Offensively for the Railsplitters, we already mentioned Darren Stevens at quarterback. The center is Ryan O'Donohue. The guards are Evan Wackendorf and Joe Dom. The tackles are Nate Johnston and Frank Sanders. The tight end is Jaden Ledley. The wide receivers are Colby Glenn and Kanai Carson. There'll be I'll mention 12 guys because there's 3 running backs, and the 3 running backs are Isaac Decker, Peyton Johnson, and Keon Carson. And as Coach mentioned, nobody on the line's going both ways, but defensively up on that front line, we've got Owen Grant, Nico Sundin, Noah Rachel, Ryan Frugier. The linebackers are Jaden Ledley, Tate Johnston, and Peyton Johnson. The corners are Christine Brown and Kanai Carson, and the safeties are Colby Glenn and and Isaac Decker. Coach, we've got some veterans out there, and we've got some guys playing in their first varsity game.
Yeah, and that's a good mix out there, and I think those veterans have been helping out the newbies kind of, and hopefully that'll be a good mesh, and we'll get it started off right here tonight to open the season.
And we've got a young lady kicking off for Clinton, Michaela Kopel. She's a junior kicker, and they say she's quite a talent. We're ready for game time, and here's the kick by Kayla, and she gets it away, and it's picked up by the Railsplitters at the 20, up to the 25. That's Isaac Decker, still on his feet, gets some good blocking to the 45. He rambles on to the 50-yard line, to the midfield stripe goes Isaac Decker. He picked these holes right up the middle of the field, and he got some good blocking, Coach.
Absolutely. He got out to midfield. He caught it on the 20, so it was a 30-yard return. Good way to start at midfield on her first drive of the year.
So that's our first Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down, and that's the way we really like it, baby, to start this football game. 50 yards from the goal line, and up on that offensive line, you can see Captain Ryan O'Donohue, the center. He's a big guy, 6'3", 315. He'll be the first guy out of that huddle up over the football. He also does the long snaps on the point after and the field goals. Darren Stevens, the young junior, going to operate out of the shotgun, out of that Lincoln wing formation. Clinton in the purple and gold, man in motion, and the play is Stevens along the sidelines and incomplete over the outstretched arms of Peyton Johnson.
See, sorry, Bob, I thought I heard some whistles down there.
I did too.
And I thought maybe the play was going to be blown, but it must just be, we must be hearing things. I don't know what, but yeah, he just overthrew his receiver out there in the flat a little bit, and a little nerves maybe at the start of the game, but they came out passing on first down.
Keon Carson went into motion from that right wing, and then they threw it. Here's the handoff to Keon. Pardon me, yeah, that's Keon. He spins, fights, he's got 5, he's got a first down, and he's going to go. 50-yard romp by Keon Carson, and Lincoln's going to lead it 6-0 with 11:34 remaining in the first quarter. And I want to say hi to my mother up in heaven. She's listening from there this year. She was my #1 fan, and she passed on, and so she's watching from way up high in the bleachers, Coach.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she's cheering for the Railers and cheering for you too, Bobby B. That was he got to the outside on that run, and then, as you said, Bob, he made a couple people miss tackles, and then he got clear, and it was clear sailing down the Lincoln sideline for a 50-yard touchdown.
So for the extra point attempt, that's going to be Angel Harrow. On the long snap, it'll be O'Donohue to Decker on the placement. There's the placement. There's the kick by Harrow. High and long and through the uprights. And the Railsplitters lead early, 7-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Worried about your friend but don't know how to reach out?
You could say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR. It's all good if you think you should check in. Yeah, you should. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
For the Railsplitters, they lead at 7-0 here early on the 50-yard touchdown by Keon Carson. And now Angel's going to kick it away for the Railsplitters from his own 40-yard line. Here's his boot. It's going to come down, and they've got it. And he's tackled. It was a short kick. 3 or 4 Railsplitters in on the tackle there, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Clinton Maroons up around the, I'd say, 32-yard line.
37, Bob. He took 37. It on the 20 and got out about to 37 before the Railers converged on him and took him down.
I apologize. I have this large orb from about 90 million miles away in my face, so
It's a little tough to see right now with the sunshine. It's like the old days back in Lincoln.
Yes, it is. All right, here we go. This is Mason Walker, the quarterback, out of the shotgun for Clinton. He's got the snap, hands it off the right side, and a nice little pickup for the Clinton Maroons up to the 40-yard line. A 3-yard pickup for the Maroons. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Yeah, the Railers definitely, although Clinton has a couple big-sized kids that I'm looking at out there on the offensive line, but Lincoln has some big kids up front also on defense, and they stopped him for a short 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, we saw one of them when we were waltzing in here. He looked like about a 300-pounder lineman. Clinton up over the ball at the line of scrimmage at their own 40-yard line. Mason Walker out of the gun. He's got the snap. Hands off. Nice run by the running back for Clinton, and he's wrapped up, but not before he gets a first down across the 45 up around the 48-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for the Clinton Maroons on their home field.
They did a nice job of blocking down on the left side to open a running lane for him as he little countered back to the left side, and he didn't get touched at until after he got at least 5 yards, and he got all the way out to the 48.
Beautiful night for football, Coach. Just perfect conditions. August, what is it, 30th?
Yeah, 26.
26.
But most nights are good nights for football, Bob. You know that.
That is true. It could be the frozen open. We'd like it. All right, from the near side hash mark, 1st and 10 for the Maroons out of the gun. Mason Walker's got it. Left-hander throws it out in the flat, but he's going to be thrown for a loss. Great gang tackling there by the Railsplitters. 3 of them there just smothered him.
Yeah, Kobe Glenn, I think, was the first one to get out there on him, but he got some help also from his linebacker. I think that was Peyton Johnson.
So that'll be a loss of 1. Back to the 47 will be 2nd and 11 for the Maroons. As I said, the Maroons got the purple helmets, the purple jerseys, the golden pants with the golden stripe down the side, and the golden numerals. Walker out of the gun. Got the snap. The left-hander fires. Got his man across the 50, and he's wrapped up. Good job by the Railsplitters. 2-3 guys there every time. They'll set the line of scrimmage into Lincoln territory at the Lincoln 49-yard line.
About a 4-yard pickup. Again, that was Glenn making the tackle along with Christian Brown, I think, was in on that.
That's 2 names that we didn't hear last year, and they're stepping up to the challenge here against Clinton. It's going to be 3rd and 7 yards to go for the Maroons.
Both were juniors, Bob.
2 juniors at the Lincoln Railsplitter 49-yard line.
Oh, that's
a little movement there, I believe.
That's offense, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's against the Maroons.
Right.
Yeah, offense. Yeah, they are the offense. Okay. Back to the 46-yard line. They go. So now it's going to be 3rd and long for the Maroons.
Yeah, good position for the Lincoln defense right here. 3rd and long, you can give them a few and then force them to punt. They're still in their own side of the 50 right now.
Walker's a junior for the Maroons. Big play for him here, 3rd and a dozen.
Gave it back.
Lincoln gave it back. One of the Railsplitters offsides.
Offsides against the Railsplitters. Maroons are getting the 5-yard back. And again, 3rd down and 7.
Offensively.
Back where we were 2 plays ago, and that's something that they earned him a spot back to the sideline. They got him out of there real quick, but still 3rd and long for the Maroons, and the Railers just need to tighten up here on defense and force a punt.
8:40 left in the first quarter. Lincoln leads at 7-0. Walker looks along the line of scrimmage. Now he's got the snap. The left-hander rolls out to his left. Now he's going to come back. He's going to run with the football across the 50, and he's finally wrestled out of bounds at around the Lincoln 46-yard line. No flags on the field, so that's going to be a Chris Coyne 1st and 10 for the Railsplitters, and that's the way we like it.
The Railers blitzed a couple linebackers on that, Bob, and they didn't get to him and forced him out of the pocket, though, and he ran left. And as you said, he picked up about 4, sets up about a 4th and 2 or 3, so they may be going for it.
So they're still going to go for it. It's not a Lincoln first down.
For the Maroons offense, 4th and 3 on the Railsplitters.
You're right, Coach. They're going for it. Walker's got a good arm on him. He's just got to find somebody open. Nobody in the backfield. He's going to run it.
He got it.
And he does. Across the 40 to the 39. Good job there by the Maroons under pressure on a 4th and 3, and they pick up the first down. No move the chains.
First down.
He got some nice blocking up front, and the Railers weren't able to penetrate and get across the line. And as you said, Bob, he just ran to the left side and picked up enough yardage down to the 39. He got about 6 on that.
Walker's a good athlete. He's going to cause the Railers from some problems tonight. He can throw and he can run. 1st and 10 for the Maroons. The Lincoln 39-yard line. Long count. And he hands off left side. And the tackle there for Lincoln made
Peyton Johnson.
But a nice pickup again by the Maroons to the Lincoln 36-yard line. 2nd 7 now for Clinton.
Well, if you can hold him to 3 yards of play, not at this part of the field, but in midfield or in their own territory, that's pretty good.
Clinton looks like an improved ball club from last year.
They had some close games. They were 1-8 last year, but they had some close scores.
That's Houston Stapleton at center. He snaps Walker. There's the hand, and that good job again by that running back.
Spots over the right side, picks up a good game with an additional push.
They're getting a good push up front, pushing the Lincoln defenders back a little bit, and the linebackers are getting in there, but they're not tackling him. He got a couple yards. He's out to about the 33 or 4.
It'll be 3rd and 4. We're under 7 minutes. First quarter, Railsplitters lead at 7-0. You're listening to 96.3 FM. One lone running back there with Walker. He's been the main running horse for him. Lincoln going to try and rush, but they get another good gain around the left side, and that is Mason Walker, the quarterback on the keeper, and he's got a big first down for the Maroons.
Well, once again, the Railers blitzed in the middle with their inside linebackers, and their quarterback just saw that coming, and he ran to the outside, and there wasn't too many defenders there to stop him, and he got a nice gain down to the 15, inside the 15 to almost 14.
He's a smart, heady ball player, Mason Walker. Where's the number 9? He's a junior.
Ball is floated on the 14, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Maroons.
6:18 left first quarter. Christian Hibbard, the running back. Walker again on the long count. Now he's got it. Gives it to his running back. He stood up and a nice tackle there. That's number 51 for the Railsplitters, Tate Johnston. He's a sophomore, coach, 5'11", 185.
And he played last year as a freshman, and he had a good season last year, and he's a promising one for this year. But that was a nice one-on-one tackle there for no gain.
So it'll be 2nd down, 10 to go, 5:43 left first quarter.
Deep in your own territory, that's when you need some big plays like that on defense, so we need a couple more here.
They go with 2 wide receivers each side. Walker's got the snap, wants to throw. Now he's under pressure, a lot of pressure, and he gets it off right at the end, but there to make the tackle, number 17 for the Railsplitters, Peyton Johnson. Good job by number 17 for the Railsplitters. Dropped him deep, Coach.
They had him in their grasp. They had a chance to drop him for a big loss, but he kind of eluded with his upper body and was able to throw and dump it away and save some yards for the Maroons that way. Sets up a 3rd and long for the Railer defense.
Going to be a 3rd and some tension for the Maroons.
As you said, Bob, that was good pressure, though, from the defense. They just couldn't quite get him down in the backfield.
They run their plays in and out. That's Ryan Stapleton, a wide receiver, bringing the play in.
He's not going to get it. Well, he might get it off.
Splits here to the near side.
No.
Didn't get it off in time, I don't think.
Well, I hope they did. See, again, I thought I heard a whistle, but it's something else screeching out there. That was
Railsplitters tackled him before the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was a good gang tackle. A lot of guys, a lot of white jerseys in on that stop. But again, might have even lost a half yard. He looks like he's back on the 14.
4th and 10 now. They'll go for it again. They won't kick the field goal.
That's a big defensive play coming here.
Long count for Walker out of the guns, got the snap. The southpaw looks, fires across the middle, and incomplete short. So the Railsplitters will take over on downs, and that'll be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down, and we like it, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Over the football on down, back to the Railsplitters. Lincoln takes over. First and 10 from the
Running errands, shuttling kids to practices, and still have to stop by the store. Sound familiar? At Town & Country Bank, we love seeing our customers, but we know that can't always happen. That's why we make managing your money easy with our mobile app. You can deposit checks, transfer funds, or make payments through your smartphone or tablet. Plus, we offer text banking and an interactive online budget tool to keep you on track.
5, 4, 3.
It's going to be O'Donohue on the snap to Stevens. Hands off, running back left side. Stays on his feet. That's Keon Carson, and he spun down, I believe, just short of a first down, Coach. He kept his legs moving. I thought they'd wrapped him up early. And
Yeah, they had him stopped at the line of scrimmage, as you said, Bob, but he just kept on running, didn't give up, and he's a hard kid to tackle, and he got that out all the way to the 24.
looked like he may have gotten 9 on that, and Coach. So it's 2nd and a yard for the Railsplitters. Stevens in that road white uniform. Hands off to his tailback, and that is number 11.
hands off for Peyton Bunner. Picks up about 11 and a first down for the Railsplitters.
Bunner, I don't have what's a new running back in there for the Railsplitters?
Yeah,
And on the tackle number 4,
Peyton Bunner,
Peyton
sophomore.
Bunner. All right. Bunner did a good job there. A young sophomore, very quick at the tailback for the Railsplitters. Peyton Bunner.
He got 10 on the carry there, Bob, out to the 34-yard line.
And that's a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down. That's the way
he
we like it,
fumbled it.
baby. He got the call again.
Yeah, I think he got it back, but he fumbled the handoff on the exchange there. But he was quick to get on top of it, so it's going to be maybe lost a yard on it.
So it'll be 2nd down for the Railsplitters.
Second down and 11 from the
2nd and 11. 3:20 left for the first quarter. Lincoln leads at 7-0 on an early 50-yard touchdown run by Keon Carson. O'Donohue comes up over the football. Kenai Carson split here to the near side. Lincoln wing formation. Man in motion. Gets the handoff. He's got to make the turn, and he does. Down up to the 36-yard line. That's Isaac Decker.
number 54, Logan Towns. That'll bring up a third.
Yeah, he couldn't quite turn the corner, Bob. Couldn't get outside, and he turned it up, and there was some defenders there from Clinton, the linebacker, there to make a stop and hold him to a short gain, only a 3-yard pickup, and it's going to be 3rd and long for the Railers.
That was Logan Toms on the tackle, a sophomore for Clinton. As you said, Coach, ball at the 36, 3rd and 8. Stevens in the huddle, tells him what's going on. Split wide to the left. This is Gabe Smith in there for the Railsplitters, a sophomore. Kenai Carson here. Stevens fakes the handoff.
Nice block.
Now he's going to throw along. He's going to show his arm. Got a man wide open. It's Keon Carson, and he's going to go for a touchdown, Coach. 6 points for the Railsplitters. No flags on the field. Keon Carson was wide open. And Darren Stevens hit him right in the chest.
He got some nice blocking there to keep the defenders off him, and he just wound up, as you said, Bob, and found Carson wide open down the field, and he had beat his 2 defenders. Got the ball to him, made a nice catch, and an easy run into the end zone.
That makes the score Lincoln Railsplitters 13 and the Clinton Maroons 0.
Stevens to Carson.
It'll be Ryan O'Donohue on the snap for the Railsplitters. The placement will be made by Isaac Decker, and Angel Harrow will attempt soccer style his 2nd point after touchdown. Here's the snap by OD, the placement, the kick, sidewinder through there, up and high and long, and that'll make the score Railsplitters 14, Maroon 0. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Hollandberry & Bennett Funeral Home was built on a tradition of trust and caring. Located in Lincoln, Hollandberry & Bennett is family-owned and operated, offering loved ones comfortable facilities and caring professionals Chris and Leslie Bennett. Loss of a loved one is one of the most difficult challenges anyone can face, and it's important to have a funeral home you can trust to provide peace of mind while adhering to the highest standards of care. Call 217-732-2638 or learn more at hbbfh.com.
Have you ever seen somebody treated unfairly because of the color of their skin?
Do you guys know what it means to have white privilege?
What is racism and what do you think about it?
Talk to young children about what racism is, giving them the language to understand it. They can be disruptors. They can shape and shift culture.
We may not always know the answer, but we'll try and help you learn.
You don't have to have all the answers, but that doesn't mean we can't start.
Auction.com. Angel Harrow going to kick it away for the Railsplitters. Beautiful field here in Clinton. The grass is green, the sun's going down, the Railsplitters lead it by 2 touchdowns.
Nice big crowd here on the home side and a good group from Lincoln over on the far side.
Looks like even a student body cheering section over there. Here's the boot by Harrow, and longer kick this time. And Wilson's got it. He's at the 25 and spun down. Nice open field tackle there for the Railsplitters.
To the 22-23-yard line, tackle made by the Railsplitters, number 11.
That was Peyton Bunner. First time we've seen him. He didn't get a start, but now he's made a big tackle, and he's had a nice run for the Railsplitters. Peyton Bunner's a sophomore, 5'11", 175 for the Railsplitters. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Clinton Maroons. 2 minutes left for the first quarter. 14-0 the score, favor of the Railsplitters. 2 receivers split to each side for Clinton. They have a man in motion. Here's the snap. Quarterback rolls out, flips it up ahead, got his man, nice catch. He's at the 30, 35, 40 before he's taken down. And the tackle was made by Tate Johnston for the Railsplitters, but a very nice design play by the Clinton Maroons, and they're up to their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, he made a nice pass there. The Lincoln defender, I think it was Jason Ledley, kind of lost his footing out there and slipped, and that gave him a lot of room to run and got it all the way out to the 42-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Maroons. Walker brings him up. Where's the number 9? He's got the snap, going to keep it this time. He's at the 45, still on his feet. They try to spin him down, and they finally do, up along the midfield stripe. But the tackle made by Colby Glenn, the junior, 5'11", 160-pounder. Colby Glenn just spun him out of bounds, just short of the first down at the midfield stripe, just across, a football length across the 50 into Lincoln territory.
That was a quarterback run all the way, a design play, and we've seen that already before in the first series they had. And he got some nice blocking and had an alley to run through and got some good yards before the Railers were able to stop him.
2nd and 2 football links for the first down for Clinton. Hand off to the running back. He's got it. He's on his feet up the middle, and a good job. Good, nice blocking up the middle there. And that's up to the 41-yard line on a first down for the Maroons.
The first drive of the Maroons had was a 13-play drive. It took some time off the clock, Bob, and they've got another good drive started on their own 23, and they're in Lincoln territory now to the 42.
That tackle was made by Noah Rachel. He's tackle up on that defensive line. 6'1", 250-pound is Noah. 1st and 10. Here's the snap. The quarterback's going to keep it. 40 at the 35, and he's hit at around the 34-yard line. On the tackle for Lincoln, that was looked like Christian Brown for the Railsplitters. Where's the number 1? He's a junior.
Another big gain on first down, 8 yards on that. And when you can get big yards on first down, it sets the whole series up for you. They can do about anything they want to here, and they've had pretty good success moving the ball here early in the game in this first quarter.
It's 2nd and 2, and they're just going to let the clock run out here for the first quarter with the score. Lincoln Railsplitters 14 and the Clinton Maroons 0. That's going to end the first quarter. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
In Clinton, with the score Railsplitters 14, Maroons 0. When they come back out on the field, it's going to be second and a deuce for the Maroons at the 34-yard line. Maroons have been doing a good job driving the ball tonight. Ken, they just haven't put it in the end zone.
No, not yet. And, I think that's going to be a little concern for the Railer coaches is how to slow down this offense, because they've getting some good blocking and good gains both in the air and on the ground.
Walker, the lone man in the backfield. He's got 5 receivers, a man in motion. He gets the football, tries to cut it upfield, and he does slash for a couple 3 yards there before he is taken down. The tackle for Lincoln made by Ryan Frugier. He got a start tonight. He's a junior, 6'3", 165-pounder Ryan Frugier on the tackle.
First down.
First and 10 for the Maroons.
That's their 6th first down here already in this first half, Bob.
Well, looks like it's at the 33-yard line. They've done a good job of moving the football. Lincoln's just had the 2 big plays to get that 2-touchdown lead. Walker out of the gun. He's got a running back with him, man in motion. And he's going to keep it. Walker's going to keep it at the 30. And he's taken down, but he picked up a couple yards on that quarterback keeper. Tate Johnson on the tackle for the Railsplitters. Going to be second and 6. Walker picked up 4 yards there. They run their wide receivers in and out with the plays. That's number 11 going back in there for the Maroons. That is Ryan Stapleton, one of their main wide receivers. Walker on a second and 6. The Lincoln 28-yard line. He's got the snap. Gives him his running back. Good job by the Railsplitters there plugging that up, Coach. Looks like they dropped him for a loss.
Yeah, a little bit, and a nice gang tackle there. A lot of white shirts in on it. Didn't get any prime guy, but that's what they need, is a lot of people to contain him and then make the stop for a short gain. And that time a loss, as you said.
For the Maroons, it's going to be 3rd and 7 at the Lincoln 29-yard line. Early second quarter, Railsplitters up 14-0. Sun just about ready to go down behind those fir trees over there. Walker out of the gun. Oh! Pulled the men in white offside. A little anxious early in the season. So that's going to make it a 3rd and 2 now at the 24 for the Maroons. Gives them a lot better chance.
Yeah, they did the same thing in that first drive, which helped keep that drive alive, and the Maroons got all the way down to the Lincoln 15 before it stalled on them, and now they're on the 24 with a 3rd and short, two down territory if they need it.
Maroons in those purple and gold uniforms. Walker out of the gun. He's got the lone running back.
And
now we get the 5 yards back.
Yeah.
We'll take that.
Well, that same thing happened in the first quarter. They had a penalty, and then we had one to give it right back.
3rd and 7 now. Again, back at the 29-yard line. Walker has got the snap. The left-hander fires it out.
Intercepted.
We're going to go all the way here, Coach. That is number 22 for the Railsplitters, Jaden Ledley. And that's going to be...
Oh, there's a penalty.
Penalty on the play.
That's going to...
Probably an illegal block by the Railsplitters.
Well, yeah, and totally unnecessary.
Official signal.
He
was down the sideline free. He was going to score
against Lincoln, so that will negate the touchdown.
Well, Well, it's a good thing I didn't add any points on our score, but
yeah, that's just a major mistake that the coaches will address, I'm sure.
Yeah, he was nice interception.
Yeah, Lincoln was down there trying to make some blocks that just weren't necessary because he was free. Nobody was going to catch him.
Happened with 9:16 left here in the first half.
The pass was just underthrown a little bit, and Lincoln's defender, Ledley, just stepped in there and then made a nice catch on a ball that just was a little underthrown.
But Ledley, being a high school kid, still a happy camper. He's dancing to the sideline.
Got an interception, a big interception.
Yeah,
so good. Yeah.
He's happy. He's one of the Lincoln captains. And
The 29-yard line, a 10-yard penalty.
so it's going to be a Chris Goins State Farm Insurance first down, and that's the way we really like it, baby. An interception and a first down. O'Donohue now up over the football for the Railsplitters. Where's the number 65 for the Railsplitters? Ryan O'Donohue. Darren Stevens out of the gun in that wing formation. Hands off.
Nice. That's Decker.
Decker on a nice run. We've watched him since he's a sophomore, and I'm still hearing that fake whistle.
Yeah, I am too. I don't know what that is, but it's kind of deceiving. You hear it all.
It is.
All the time. So he got down to the 19.
And that's a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down, and that's the way you like it, baby. 9:09 left for the first half. Lincoln leads at 14-0.
Lincoln called timeout.
Timeout for the Railsplitters, and we'll take a 30-second timeout. We'll be back.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out. Good night.
And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
I want to thank one of our fine sponsors, Chestnut Health Systems, offering a comprehensive scope of behavioral health and human services in Illinois and Missouri. Phone 888-924-3786, and that's for Chestnut Health Systems. Going to be 1st and 10 for the Railsplitters. Stevens running the show out of that timeout, hands it off to Keon Carson. He makes the turn, and then he's wrapped up. He got hit and then finally wrapped up at around the 19-yard line.
Yeah, the Maroon defense did a nice job of stringing that out, Bob. Yeah, he tried to get around the corner, but the defender was right there to stop him for no gain.
Well, Keon is a great running back, and he's got a reputation. So, all these teams coming in has got his license plate number.
Sure, he had a great year last year, and they're going to key on him, you can bet.
2nd and 10 now for the Railsplitters. 8:34 left in the first half. Lincoln leads at 14-0. You're listening to WLCN 96.3 FM. Snap, handoff, and a nice run there. That was...
That's a Bunner.
Bunner getting some playing time. Peyton Bunner doing a good job. Picked up 4, maybe 5 on that. It'll be 3rd and 5 for the Railsplitters.
That'll bring up a 3rd and
the 14-yard line. Yeah, a 5-yard pickup.
But I'm sorry, Bob, just like the Maroons, Railers are definitely in 2-down territory here on the 19-yard line of the Maroons, so don't have to get it all on this down necessarily.
3rd and a nickel for the Railsplitters. Split out wide to the right. That's Colby Glenn. Stevens looking along the lines, got the snap, and hands off to Decker. Decker's going to take it wide.
Got a nice block out there.
He's got a first down. And you know what, Coach? That's going to be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down, and that's the way we like it, baby. But you know what? There's a penalty, a little unnecessary roughness over on the sideline. But it looked like Decker tried to hit the line, saw he couldn't make it, and then he swung it outside.
Exactly, and he got a great block out there by Jaden Ledley to slow down the pursuit and give him a chance to get around the corner. Got the first down, but now we'll see what the flag is.
All of a sudden, that popped up like the fireworks over there.
The ball's on the 7, so he got it down to the 7. That was a 7-yard pickup for Decker.
Official looks like he's going to march it off against the Maroons.
It's okay with us, yeah. It was so far away from us, we didn't, and the play was over, so we didn't see what exactly happened. But
at this time, could all JFL coaches and players
Lincoln in those white road uniforms.
They didn't mark anything off against anybody, so it's going to be first and goal for the Railers on the Clinton 7-yard line.
They just called a truce, and we're going to take it in from the 7. Stevens got the snap, a little bit high, hands it off. That's Bunner. Bunner spins, fights. Looks like he's across the 5, Coach. Hard to tell way over there on the other side of the field. Hayden Bunner, the sophomore, 5'11", 175-pounder, well-built kid.
He looks like he's down to the 2. He got 5 on that.
So it'll be second and goal for the Railsplitter. Abraham Lincoln, the original Railsplitter.
Please report to the north end of the football field.
Can't tell if that's on the 2 or the 3.
Second goal.
Down there deep. They got it on the 3, so.
Stevens got the snap, hands off this time, and I believe
not in. He's down to the 1.
That might have been Johnson.
In on the tackle. That'll bring up a third.
Did we see who caught it? I couldn't tell who carried it.
Third and goal.
I thought maybe Peyton Johnson, but I wasn't sure. Third and goal.
Well, we'll put it down on his line.
And now up under center is Stevens. Now he hands off. That is
Keon,
and it's a touchdown. Lincoln leads at 20-0. Keon Carson takes it in from 2 yards out. On the 3rd and goal, Keon Carson with his 3rd touchdown of the game. 50-yard run, a long passing play, and a 2-yard run there. So Lincoln leads at 20-0, and Angel Harrow again will attempt the extra point.
The extra point, Isaac Decker on the hold.
Decker on the hold, O'Donohue on the snap. Harrow will attempt his 3rd point after touchdown. Here's the snap, the placement, the kick, high and long and through the uprights, and Lincoln leads at 21-0 here at
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like they can do it too, I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Put that on your calendar. Headline Salon in Lincoln. Angel Harrow now has kicked 3 extra points for the Railsplitters, and he's going to kick it off from his own 40-yard line. Here's the approach and the boot. Gets it away sharply. Clinton's going to bring it from their own 15. And here they come, and they get some nice blocking, and up across the 40-yard line go the Clinton Maroons on a nice run back on the kickoff. They do a lot of things right. Coach, Railsplitter's just been able to stop them when they have to deep in their own territory.
They've controlled the time of possession definitely here in this first half so far, Bob. First quarter and a half, and but the Lincolns had some big plays and scored quickly.
Always want to thank our kickoff sponsor, and that is Chicago Street Rentals. They're out there on 1405 North Kickapoo. That's our kickoff sponsors, Chicago Street Rentals. Out of the shotgun goes Clinton. There's the handoff, left side, good blocking. And he's up across the 45 to the 47-yard line. 6-yard pickup for the Maroons of Clinton.
The Railers defensively have not been able to quite solve that offensive run. They run a little off tackle there, a little deceptive action there, and Railers are not able to stop that. And that was a nice 6-yard pickup on first down.
Here they come to the line of scrimmage. That's Houston Stapleton, the center. He's a senior, and he'll snap it to their fine quarterback, Mason Walker. Walker's got the snap. Hands off to his running back, and he's got another nice gain up to the 50-yard line. Just short, about a yard short of a first down, Coach. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, they put it on the 49, but yeah, it's 3rd and maybe 2 now, but short gain there, but it's 3rd and short here for them, right near midfield. You got to think if they don't get it on this down, they'll probably go for it again, down 21-0 here. It's starting to get late in the second period.
Stapleton up over the football. Walker's got the snap. He's going to keep it along the sideline, and he's got a first down, Coach, into Lincoln territory. Runs it out of bounds, stops the clock at 4:38. Walker usually makes the right play.
Yeah, I was going to say, no surprise in that play call there. He's run the ball well and run it often here in this first half.
On the 47-yard line of Lincoln.
The Maroons, the Lincoln 47-yard line. Hope you're all enjoying the Balloon Fest back home. If you got your transistor radio out there, listen to the game. Walker out of the gun. 1st and 10 for the Maroons in Lincoln territory at the 47-yard line. 4:38 remains in the first half. Lincoln leads at 21-0. Oh, boy. Railsplitters.
Oh, yeah.
A little ballet dance off sides there.
He's sitting right over the ball. He's playing right over the ball, and all he's got to do is watch it. When it moves, he moves, but he couldn't do that. So.
And if you go off sides, Coach immediately rips you out of the lineup.
Well,
they just know it. They take off running for the sideline as soon as they step over the line. That must be a standing rule for the Railsplitters.
Yeah.
You go off sides, you're out.
If he does it too often, he will never get back out there either, so he better be careful.
So now it's 1st and a nickel for the Maroons at the Lincoln 42-yard line. Nobody in the backfield with Walker. Man in motion. Now he hands it off.
There's a nice play. Nice. Is that Decker on the initial hit? Yeah, that was Decker who made the nice stop there right at the line of scrimmage.
Isaac Decker, a 3-year veteran for the Railsplitters, one of the captains. Where's the number 13?
Bring up a 2nd and 5, maybe 6. For the Maroons, as it looks like the ball says just outside.
Decker's 5'10", 155-pounder. I would guess he's probably a wrestler.
He might be, but he does a nice job on defense and offense, but he did a nice job there making a stop at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 6 for Clinton. There's the handoff, and a good job by the Railsplitters. That time tripping him up was Ledley. Ledley on the tackle for the Railsplitters, another one of the captains for the Railsplitters.
Well, and once again, their second play in a row, Railers defense is aggressive, getting across the line of scrimmage and forcing the action a little bit, and that's what they've got to keep doing.
Ball at the Lincoln 42-yard line, 3rd and 5 for the Maroons. And as you say, Coach, so we'll try a couple plays.
Clinton would really like to get a score on the board here before halftime. There's 3 minutes, just under 3.5 minutes here, and they'd like to put something on the board before halftime.
They haven't been able to get anybody open for a long pass. That quarterback's got a good arm on him. Here's the snap, hands off again, and he's not going to go very far. A couple of Railsplitters there.
Tate Johnston was in there, and a couple others. That's the only number I saw come out.
That's number 41 for the Railsplitters. Jared Fultz, a senior, was, I believe, the first guy there.
The Maroons offense on the field, so let's go, fans.
4th and 5.
Right here for the Maroons, 4th and 5.
These Maroon fans don't stand like Cub fans.
Yeah. 2nd quarter.
Okay, System's trying to get him up, but they're not too.
Walker out of the guns, got the snap. The lefty wants to fire, picked off.
Intercepted by Ledley
again. Man, he's playing that position. He's like a third baseman out there. He picks those things off. He knows right where they're coming to. And that's going to be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down, and that's the way we like it, baby. Going to be 1st and 10 for the Railsplitters.
That was Ledley was ready for it. They had good coverage out there. There was nobody open for him to really throw to. And Ledley just picked it off. He was down, had to go down low to get it, and he made the catch, and that's where the Railers take over at the 37.
Well, Coach, you know my sister Teresa passed away this year, a big Lincoln Railsplitter fan, and her husband, Matthew Young, and he always supplied us with food up in the press box.
It was great.
There's the snap to Stevens. He's going to throw it long. He throws the home run ball.
He's got him.
Oh,
he dropped it.
He just couldn't get it.
I think that was Kanai, wasn't it?
That was Kanai Carson. Man, he's like you said, Coach, he's got a pretty good arm on him.
Yeah, I wasn't sure it was that good, but he put it through a bullet down there.
He did.
And the guy and Kanai was open. He just kind of couldn't hang on to it as he went down to the ground. So second down, but that'll loosen up the defense a little bit, I would think.
Definitely. Ball at the 37-yard line here on the near side hash mark. Great crowd here tonight. The Maroons packing the place, and the Railsplitters travel well.
Yeah. Well, it's a short trip. That helps, and that's great. And what else are you going to do on Friday night? I guess you could watch a balloon, but why watch that when you can watch a football game, right?
That's true. Wing formation, Railsplitters. 2 wide receivers.
Flag on the play. Penalty will be delay of game.
Delay of the game. So it'll be 2nd and 15 for the Railsplitters, now back at their own 32-yard line.
Bring up a 2nd and 15 from the 32. 2nd and 15.
Here we go, 2nd and 15. Shotgun. Man in motion. That's Keon Carson. Dances, fights up to the 38-yard line.
See where they place it, yeah.
5-yard pickup by Keon Carson.
Number 77 in on the tackle. With that 5-yard gain, it'll bring up a 3rd and 11.
That was Houston Stapleton on the tackle for the Maroons.
3rd and 11 for Lincoln.
3rd down play here, Coach, at the 37 for the Railsplitters. 3rd and 10. Stevens has got it, rolls out to his right. Good blocking.
Yep,
he's going to let it fly again. Kanai Carson?
Oh!
No. And he put that pass pretty much on the money.
I tell you, Kanai was behind his defender again, and the ball might have been just slightly over his other outside shoulder, and he couldn't quite bring it in. But another good deep pass by quarterback Darren Stevens.
Oh, he threw that. Well, he ran up to the line of scrimmage, so he's at the 37, and that ball's down across the 10-yard line when it finally came down.
He had some nice line blocking that gave him enough time to roll out there and make a throw too, Bob.
So Lincoln going to have, this is the first time they've had to punt it away.
First punt of the night, yes.
Yeah, and last year, remember, Ledley, this guy could be in the circus. No matter what happens, he gets the kick away. He's got 14 guys coming at him, and he'll kick it away.
He's got Isaac Decker snapping it to him.
There's the snap. And it's a
nice
high. Yeah, that took a half an hour to come down and gets a tremendous Lincoln bounce. Wow, all the way down to the 17-yard line.
Down just inside the 17-yard line.
Tate Johnston goes down there, and he downs it. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Maroons with 1:38 left in the first half. Lincoln leads the football game 21-0 on 3 Keon Carson touchdowns.
Now with 1:38 left, deep in their own territory, I would guess Clinton won't get too ambitious here. You never know, being down by 3 scores, but that's a long way to go in 1:38.
That's true. Well, we'll see. They do a good job at chopping up yardage, but they don't get the big play, which is good.
No, that's true. And, I've been impressed by their quarterback. He runs the ball well. He hasn't thrown it that well, but he manages the game pretty good from that position. Mason
Walker, he's got a man in motion, and he hands it.
He still got it.
He kept it. I lost track of him.
Incomplete. He threw it out there downfield as he rolled to his left, and didn't really have an open receiver, so he kind of just threw it away, I think.
So it'll be 2nd 10 for the Maroons at their own 17-yard line after that nice punt by Jaden Ledley.
See, the one thing you don't want to do if you're Clinton right now is you don't want to get in a position where you have to punt from deep in your own territory. So they may see a running play here with the quarterback.
And that would be Walker. Where's the number 9? Mason Walker. He's got the snap. Looks like he wants to throw again. He does, and incomplete again. Intended receiver was Isaiah Reynolds.
And that stops the clock with 1:27 and sets up a 3rd and 10. And
that's good for the Railsplitters.
Yes, absolutely.
From their own 17-yard line.
So where did you travel to this year, Coach?
Went to Disney World.
Disney World, all right.
Yeah, and went to a tennis tournament in Cincinnati.
Oh, that's different. That's cool.
Yeah, I've been doing that.
Yeah.
I know you went everywhere. You don't have time to talk about it now, but at halftime, maybe you could.
I got lost. I can't hardly remember where I was at. Walker out of the gun. The lefty. He's got a little time. And now he comes up to the line of scrimmage, and he throws a completion for a first down. Canton Wilson was wide open, made the catch, and they'll move the chains. 1st and 10 for the Maroons. It was 3rd and 10, and he hit Canton out there. Here they come, quick, no huddle. Walker's got it again. Here comes the heat. Still gets away along the sideline, incomplete. Minute 11 left for the first half, and the Maroons keeping it alive.
Yeah, it was a big 3rd down play. The receiver just kind of caught it down on the ground. It wasn't a great throw, but it got to him, and there was not a defender there to knock him down. And that kept the drive alive for him, and that pretty much says they'll be able to run the clock out if they don't move it down. They still got a long way to go. They're on their own 34 4-yard line, yeah.
2nd and 10 for the Maroons. Lincoln leads at 21-0. Mason Walker, a lone man. He's coming up. It comes up under center this time, and is that play blown dead? Maybe that was a real whistle that time.
Yeah, I guess.
Ready for a preliminary signal?
They take time out?
No flags, yeah.
They're coming over, so it must...
Yeah, you're right, Coach. It is a timeout. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Hollandberry & Bennett Funeral Home was built on a tradition of trust and caring. Located in Lincoln, Hollandberry & Bennett is family-owned and operated, offering loved ones comfortable facilities and caring professionals Chris and Leslie Bennett. Loss of a loved one is one of the most difficult challenges anyone can face, and it's important to have a funeral home you can trust to provide peace of mind while adhering to the highest standards of care. Call 217-732-2638 or learn more at hbbfh.com.
Another one of our billboard sponsors for Lincoln Railsplitter football, Culver's of Lincoln, located at 2530 Woodlawn. That's Culver's at 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Whether it's burgers, fries, or sweet treat, stop by and enjoy great food served with Culver's hospitality. Here we go. The Maroons, they throw it. Nice pass. Complete at the 50 to the Lincoln 45, 40, and finally ran down at the 30. Well-devised play out of that timeout. And a nice play from Mason Walker for the Maroons. A tremendous play, Coach, for the Maroons. A surprise as they came out of that timeout. Railers weren't ready for that one.
That was a 35-yard gain there, and that's when you'd like to see a replay to see how he got so wide open. But once he caught it, he had a nice run after the catch too, Bob, before the Railer defense was able to stop him.
We're in the red. 53 seconds in the clock running here. Here's Walker, and he wants to run. He's going to keep it himself. No, now he's... Does he get rid of it? Yes. Another complete pass. Walker, a very heady player, a good athlete. He's got a good arm on him, and he's hitting the guys that are open.
Well, it took him a while to find an opening, and he rolled to his left and kept running until he did find him, and he completed it inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line.
Another 1st and 10 for the Maroons. Clock stopped at 42 seconds, and here we go. Walker, this time he's got a lone running back. He's got the snap, rolls, and here comes the pressure. Still, he's got a man.
Intercepted. Decker
had a man in the end zone, and Coach called it. That's Isaac Decker. He had a man wide open in the end zone, and Isaac Decker just streaked across and picked it off, as you called it, Coach.
Yeah, he was looking for it. As you called it right, Bob. The guy was down in the end zone or near the end zone, and Decker just stepped in there and made the nice catch, nice read there on the play, and stopped that drive, which was getting close to the end zone.
There was a flag, but that was a holding against the Maroons, and that's a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance, and that's really the way we like it, baby. And another third interception for the Railsplitters, 2 by Ledley, and the third one by Isaac Decker to stop that touchdown drive by the Maroons. With 24.3 seconds left on the clock.
24.3 seconds.
And I would be surprised if Lincoln does anything besides take a knee here or whatever to stop the clock, or to get the clock running and get out of the halftime here. Stevens
looking along the line of scrimmage. Got a man in motion, gets the snap, hands it off to Keon Carson. He tries to make the turn. He's spun down at the 10. And that should run the clock out.
You got
Picked up
yards,
2 yards there, Coach. And they stop the clock.
Timeout called by Lincoln.
Lincoln calls a timeout with 13.4 seconds on the clock. And we'll take a 30-second timeout, and we'll be back.
That's interesting.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
State Bank of Lincoln, a division of Heartland Bank and Trust, member FDIC, with 3 convenient locations in Lincoln. Online at 5blincoln.com. That's online at 5blincoln.com. That's the State Bank of Lincoln, a division of Heartland Bank and Trust. Stevens has got the snap. And a handoff. Is that Decker?
Yeah.
Oh, look at him go. Isaac Decker way out past the 25-yard line. And that's going to be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down. That's the way we like it, baby. Isaac Decker showing his power as he has for the last 3 years for the Railsplitters. Picking up that 1st and 10. They move the chains. Another timeout for the Railsplitters with 5.4 seconds on the clock. We'll just keep it right here. Thank some of our sponsors. Sharon's Auto Repair, family owned and operated at 929 South Kickapoo Street in Lincoln with over 35 years of experience. That's Sharon's Auto Repair. They're at 929 South Kickapoo in Lincoln, and they are repairing and maintaining all makes and models of vehicles. Call 217-735-2222 at Sharon's Auto Repair. Stevens out of the gun. 1st and 10, his own 27-yard line. Here's the snap. Spins, goes to his right, going to keep the ball. Now he's going to throw it up ahead. He's got the receiver. That's Isaac Decker, and that's going to end the first half. But Decker made it up to the 50-yard line, Coach.
Yep.
And that's going to end the first half with the score 21-0. And the Railers had Keon Carson score 3 touchdowns in that first half. A brilliant first half for the Lincoln Railsplitters. And I'm waiting here for a second. The officials haven't released him yet. There's no time left on the clock, but the officials are still out there talking to each other.
Must have been a penalty or something there. I don't see a flag. They might have picked it up, but
that was a 23-yard play.
Yeah, got it up to 50-yard line.
Holding against the Maroons.
Holding against, that'll be declined.
But with that defensive penalty, Lincoln will get one more untied down.
One more untimed down. The ball will be moved into Maroon territory to the 45.
Down at the 50-yard line.
No, that's 10-yard penalty. 15-yard penalty.
So Lincoln will have
That was more than holding.
untimed down.
Ball to the 35-yard line.
5-yard line.
So Lincoln can strike from the 35 with the arm of Darren Stevens.
Yeah, I got to get a play, and they don't have any timeouts left. I don't think so. And they're up there, they're ready to go. Yeah,
An untimed play. Rare.
Throw it into the end zone.
Stevens has got the snap. He's going to wait till somebody gets open. Now he slings it and slap down incomplete.
Yep.
A lot of jockeying for position out there, but no call on the play, and that's going to end the first half now.
No, that was defended well, and Keon just wasn't quite open.
The Lincoln Railsplitters 21 and the Clinton Maroons 20. We're going to have a 20-minute halftime here, so it'll be a long halftime, but big first half for the Railsplitters to start the season, Coach, and we'll be back in 6 minutes.
Okay.
WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com present Lincoln Community High School Railsplitter Football. WLCN's live stream video coverage of Railer football is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Chestnut Health Systems, offering a comprehensive scope of behavioral health and human services in Illinois and Missouri. Phone 888-924-3786. Me Realty, locally owned and operated. Me Realty is Logan County's top producing real estate agency year after year. Call 217-735-5424 or browse listings online at merealty.com. Farm and Home Supply. Shop Farm and Home Supply for all your farm, home, and outdoor needs. Stop by at 1501 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Triplet Heating and Cooling, servicing all brands of residential and commercial HVAC systems in the Lincoln and Logan County area. Call 217-651-8683, Triplet Heating and Cooling, an authorized Bryant dealer. Hollandberry and Bennett Funeral Home, providing peace of mind while adhering to the highest standards of care. Family owned and operated by Chris and Leslie Bennett. Call 217-732-2638 or learn more at hbbfh.com. Town & Country Bank, a proud sponsor of Lincoln Railer football, Town & Country Bank helps empower the financial well-being of communities, one person at a time. Online at townandcountrybank.com. Thank you for watching WLCN's coverage of Lincoln Railsplitter football. Hollandberry and Bennett Funeral Home was built on a tradition of trust and caring. Located in Lincoln, Hollandberry and Bennett is family-owned and operated, offering loved ones comfortable facilities and caring professionals Chris and Leslie Bennett. Loss of a loved one is one of the most difficult challenges anyone can face, and it's important to have a funeral home you can trust to provide peace of mind while adhering to the highest standards of care. Call 217-732-2638 or learn more at hbbfh.com.
Running errands, shuttling kids to practices, and still have to stop by the store. Sound familiar? At Town & Country Bank, we love seeing our customers, but we know that can't always happen. That's why we make managing your money easy with our mobile app. You can deposit checks, transfer funds, or make payments through your smartphone or tablet. Plus, we offer text banking and an interactive online budget tool to keep you on track. Visit townandcountrybank.com to learn more. Town & Country Bank, side by side, member FDIC.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
Hollandberry and Bennett Funeral Home was built on a tradition of trust and caring. Located in Lincoln, Hollandberry and Bennett is family-owned and operated, offering loved ones comfortable facilities and caring professionals Chris and Leslie Bennett. Loss of a loved one is one of the most difficult challenges anyone can face, and it's important to have a funeral home you can trust to provide peace of mind while adhering to the highest standards of care. Call 217-732-2638 or learn more at hbbfh.com.
Exciting Lincoln Railsplitter football, and our halftime sponsor, as it always is Grau Incorporated. Grau Incorporated since 1953 has brought you a great variety of vehicles out on 1905 North Kickapoo. That's Grau Incorporated at 217-735-4444. Our halftime sponsor. No, there's also a great selection of vehicles out there. You can also get your car serviced. Just call in anytime, and the guys there at the front desk will take care of you, and you can get your vehicle taken care of, oil changes, whatever repairs you need. And they've also got a body shop there too, in case you need something taken care of on your vehicle. Maybe you ran into a deer or something like I did last year. But anyhow, it's Grau Incorporated here at halftime for the Lincoln Railsplitters and Coach Ken Schweitzer. It was an exciting first half for the Railsplitters.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they got 3 scores on the board, and all 3 of them kind of came in quick fashion, Bob. And no long drives for the Railers. They didn't need to, but they had some big plays and scored early and 3 times, and they take a 21-0 lead here in the halftime.
Defensively, the Clinton Maroons, they showed they were able to drive the ball down the field, but the Lincoln Railsplitter defense, not only with their tackles when the Maroons were down in the red zone, zone, were able to stop them. There were 3 nice interceptions by the Railsplitters in that first half.
Yeah, that made some big difference, some defensive plays there. But Coach Ron Bass there of Clinton, his team, they've looked pretty good moving the ball. They just can't get it to the end zone. But the quarterback's done a nice job running with the ball, and they've got some big runs. And Lincoln did stop them on 3 drives with 3 interceptions. One was run back for a touchdown, but it was denied because of a penalty. But Jaden Ledley had 2 of those interceptions, and Isaac Decker had the other one deep in Lincoln territory there near the end zone.
Yeah, that was a great interception there by Decker because the intended receiver was wide open. As you made it on the call there, Decker, he picked it off. Nice play.
Yeah, nice read there. I think he was watching the quarterback and saw, then he wound up to throw it, and he stepped over in front of the receiver to make that pick off. And Lincoln then, I thought they would just kill the clock there. It was under a minute there to get into halftime, but no, they took a couple timeouts and they moved the ball and got help from the big penalty and got down what was the 30-yard line there or thereabouts in Maroon territory as the half ended on the last play.
And from that distance, our quarterback, Darren Stevens, is able to throw the ball, and it would just happen to be good coverage there by the Maroons to stop that pass play.
Exactly, and Stevens has been impressive, especially throwing the ball. I didn't know, of course, we hadn't seen him before, but didn't know he could throw it that far, and he has thrown some nice deep balls. Hadn't completed any of the deep ones, but they're there, and a couple of them were dropped that could have been caught.
Of course, this is a non-conference game, but we remain in the Apollo this year, so we'll have a lot of Apollo conference games, exciting games for you this year.
Absolutely. Start next week, we open the Apollo conference action over at Charleston.
So we take the long trip over to Charleston, and I believe that's the home of Eastern Illinois University.
It certainly is, and the Charleston, they open tonight at Herscher, so they got a tough opener there too. But that'll be the first conference game of the year, and of the last year of Railers being in the Apollo Conference. So exciting time there, and like you said, it's a nice long trip, but get that out of the way, and then we'll have a couple home games after that. Finally get Hanlon Field.
And this is our last. This will be the end of our series with Clinton. They played, of course, in Lincoln last year, and then the away game for the Railsplitters tonight.
Yeah, most of the time you contract like 2 years, at a time, especially on those non-conference ones. So this will be the last match between these two for a while.
Well, Coach, one of our all-time favorite quarterbacks, Jake Harneke, not coaching this year, but we really enjoyed the years he was around. He was not only a great player, but he did a great job coaching for the Railsplitters.
Yeah, he was, of course, a quarterback here, and then went on played in college too. And he's been the offensive coordinator for quite a while. Coach Sikorsky took that back after Jake left this year, and he's calling the plays tonight on the sideline. And Jake did a great job while he was here. Kids liked him, and he was a good coach, knew his game, and called a nice game.
I don't know where Jake's at now. He was at Lincoln College, but of course Lincoln College unable to operate anymore after 157 years. But he moved on. But I don't. He told me, but I can't remember where he's gone.
Is he over at Millikan?
I believe you're right.
I think he went over to Millikan.
Well, that's a great job for him.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sure that had something to do with him not being able to coach this year, not coaching, and we wish him well.
We certainly do, and that's a fine job over there at Millikan University. And today's halftime show, of course, is sponsored by Grau Incorporated. They've been with us in Lincoln since 1953, and if you need anything out there, the phone number is 217-735-4444, and you can get a hold of Chris Grau and his crew out there, and whatever you need, if you need a vehicle or you need some repairs, Chris Grau and the gang at Grau Incorporated will take care of you. We're going to take another timeout, and then we'll be back with more of the Grau Incorporated halftime show here from Clinton, and we'll be back shortly.
What do we got on the clock?
Running errands, shuttling kids to practices, and still have to stop by the store. Sound familiar? At Town & Country Bank, we love seeing our customers, but we know that can't always happen. That's why we make managing your money easy with our mobile app. You can deposit checks, transfer funds, or make payments through your smartphone or tablet. Plus, we offer text banking and an interactive online budget tool to keep you on track. Visit townandcountrybank.com to learn more. Town & Country Bank, side by side, member FDIC.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Worried about your friend, but don't know how to reach out?
You can say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you. You can chat with them in VR. It's all good if you think you should check in. Yeah, you should. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Hollandberry & Bennett Funeral Home was built on a tradition of trust and caring. Located in Lincoln, Hollandberry & Bennett is family-owned and operated, offering loved ones comfortable facilities and caring professionals Chris and Leslie Bennett. Loss of a loved one is one of the most difficult challenges anyone can face, and it's important to have a funeral home you can trust to provide peace of mind while adhering to the highest standards of care. Call 217-732-2638 or learn more at hbbfh.com.
Have you ever seen somebody treated unfairly because of the color of their skin?
Do you guys know what it means to have white privilege?
What is racism and what do you think about it?
Talk to young children about what racism is, giving them the language to understand it. They can be disruptors. They can shape and shift culture.
We may not always know the answer, but we'll try and help you learn.
You don't have to have all the answers, but that doesn't mean we can't start.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly
Lights out. Good night.
and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Running errands, shuttling kids to practices, and still have to stop by the store. Sound familiar? At Town & Country Bank, we love seeing our customers, but we know that can't always happen. That's why we make managing your money easy with our mobile app. You can deposit checks, transfer funds, or make payments through your smartphone or tablet. Plus, we offer text banking and an interactive online budget tool to keep you on track. Visit townandcountrybank.com to learn more. Town & Country Bank, side by side, member FDIC.
1-7-735-4444 at 1905 North Kickapoo. And Coach Ken Schweitzer has some first half stats for us.
Yeah, let's quick go through the scoring first. Lincoln scored right at the beginning of the game with 11:34 left in that first quarter on a Keon Carson 50-yard run around the left side. Angel Hara kicked the extra point. It was 7-0. And then late in the first quarter, again, the Railers scored on a Darren Stevens pass to Keon Carson, a 64-yard romp to the end zone. Again, the Hara kick made it 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. And then at 6:03 in the second period, Keon Carson had a short 2-yard run, got it in the end zone, and once again, Hara kicked the extra point and gets us to 21-0. Carson's our leading rusher. He's carried the ball 6 times unofficially for 68 yards. Peyton Bunner has had 4 carries for 19 yards, and Isaac Decker has carried the ball 4 times for 37 yards. Darren Stevens has thrown 6 times, completed 2 of them for 87 yards. Lincoln's total team rushing is 126 yards here in that first half. 2 balls that were caught. One was by Isaac Decker for 23 yards, and then Keon Carson, the 64-yard reception. Clinton does have 10 first downs, Bob. They've had the time of possession on their side by quite a bit. Lincoln's only got 3 first downs, but they put 3 scores on the board. So big stat probably is the turnovers. Clinton's turned it over 3 times. Lincoln's intercepted 3 passes, and those are all 3 were key in stopping drives by the Maroons.
Well, thank you, Coach. The Railsplitters coming in with a lot of esprit de corps, as Coach Velakovich told us. They're fired up for this season, and they showed it early in that first half with the big plays.
Yeah, there was some big plays early, and I think you got to give Clinton a little credit. They kind of they didn't fold. They kind of hung in there. They made some defensive stops. Made Lincoln earn it there at times, especially after that first early score. And Clinton offensively has moved the ball a little bit. They just haven't been able to finish it. And so the Railers, they've got things to work on. They've got some adjustments they can make there at the halftime. So we'll see how the second half goes. But, there's always things to work on, and I'm sure the Railers, like anybody else, is going to have to do in the week coming up.
Well, as we always say, you make some early mistakes in the first game, and we were laughing earlier because if you get caught off sides, you're immediately ripped out of the line. He doesn't even tell you to come out. You just know to run off the field.
Well, that's just a matter of discipline, and you got to stay built discipline there. And when you're playing the defensive line, you can see that ball, and when it moves, that's when you move, and not until that.
Clinton back out on the field now, Coach. Now Lincoln finally making their way out. Long halftime talk in there by Coach with the Railsplitters. Railsplitters on the road in those all white uniforms, the white helmets and the white jerseys and the green numerals, and they're just making their way back out. We're going to take another timeout. We'll send it back to the station, and then we'll be back with the second half of Lincoln Railsplitter football.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
Hollandberry and Bennett Funeral Home was built on a tradition of trust and caring. Located in Lincoln, Hollandberry and Bennett is family-owned and operated, offering loved ones comfortable facilities and caring professionals Chris and Leslie Bennett. Loss of a loved one is one of the most difficult challenges anyone can face, and it's important to have a funeral home you can trust to provide peace of mind while adhering to the highest standards of care. Call 217-732-2638 or learn more at hbbfh.com.
Running errands, shuttling kids to practices, and still have to stop by the store. Sound familiar? At Town & Country Bank, we love seeing our customers, but we know that can't always happen. That's why we make managing your money easy with our mobile app. You can deposit checks, transfer funds, or make payments through your smartphone or tablet. Plus, we offer text banking and an interactive online budget tool to keep you on track. Visit townandcountrybank.com to learn more. Town & Country Bank, side by side, member FDIC.
Been running with the Lincoln Railsplitter football here for the second half. Both teams have warmed up, and now the Railsplitters coming out on the field. The Clinton Maroons huddled up. The Railsplitters lead the ball game 21-0 on a 50-yard touchdown romp by Keon Carson. Then on a 64-yard strike from Darren Stevens to Keon Carson. And then Keon took it in on like a second goal from the 2 for a touchdown. And Angel Harrell has been able to kick all the extra points. So the Railsplitters lead it 21-0. And Angel's going to kick it off here to start the second half. Maroons getting out there on the field, and the Railsplitters were on the wrong side of the field, and the Clinton Maroons were on their wrong side of the field. Now they're getting that straightened out, and Angel will tee it up at the 40-yard line.
All right, get the logistics figured out, and then we'll get started.
Yes. I'll tell you what, Coach, I was on vacation not too long ago. I was up in Michigan.
Yeah.
And we went to one of those dark sites, where you can see all the stars and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And I may have saw 8 alien spaceships.
Really?
Up by the North Star. They were only about 323 million light years from Earth, but
oh, well, no immediate threat then.
No. Angel going to kick it away for the Railsplitters from his own 40. Gets off a good boot, and Clinton's got it at the 15 to the 20. Nice running and blocking to the 35. 35 stays on his feet, and he's finally taken down around the 37-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Clinton Maroons to start the second half here. Good blocking there for the Maroons as they took it right up the middle of the field, and they're going to have it 1st and 10 to start this second half.
Yeah, he did a nice job of looking at finding his spots, where to run. He made a few little moves in there, too, to pick up some extra yardage and get it out to about 30. What are they going to put out? About 37.
The Maroons are capable of being explosive offensively. The Railers have been able to stop them so far, but the Maroons, after this second half, after the halftime talk, may be able to bring it to us. Mason Walker. This time he's going to come up under center. Man in motion. Here's the snap. He hands off. The running back's going to make the turn. That's Potts across the 40 and knocked out at the 42. 4-yard pickup, and the man that knocked him out of bounds was Kenai Carson.
Kenny Carson of the Railsplitters.
Lincoln's got a 4-man defensive line there, and they bring up their outside linebacker up there too. Sometimes it looks like 5 up front, but they haven't been able to turn that in. He's still getting to the outside, which is something you don't want to happen. There's a nice stop right in the middle.
That was off a left tackle.
With maybe a short gain of about 1.
Johnson on the tackle for the Railsplitters. 3rd and 3 for the Maroons, the 44-yard line. Now they'll go out of the shotgun.
Watch quarterback. He likes to run in this situation.
He's got the snap.
They hand it off. Nice stop there.
On the carry, stopped right about.
Is that Ledley? I think was in on that, and maybe Peyton Johnson maybe up there.
Okay.
Not positive, but
he hit him hard.
That was a no game. Maybe even lost a half yard.
Ball at the 44-yard line. 4th and 3. trying to get the Maroon fans fired up. There's a lot of them here, but they just haven't seen any James Brown concerts. They don't get too fired up.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised they're not kicking, but
there's Walker.
He got outside. Boy. He got outside. Now he's throwing incomplete. It's tough to throw on the run, and that's what he was doing. But he was headed back to the line of scrimmage. I was afraid he was going to have some running room in there.
So the Railsplitters going to get some good field position. That's a Chris Coyne State Farm first down. So it'll be 1st and 10. They're going to move the chains, reverse the direction. The ball's going to be at the 44-yard line, and the young junior, number 12, Darren Stevens, and the Railsplitters will take over. Split here to the near side is Kenai Carson. He's the lone wide receiver for the Railsplitters.
A little surprised that the Maroons didn't punt in that situation, 4th and long in their own territory, but they didn't, and the Railers got great field position.
Stevens handoff Kenai Carson. He's got a big hole. He's on the run. He's at the 30. He dances, stays on his feet, and he's spun down at the 25. What an exciting runner he is, Coach Schweitzer. He's down inside the 25-yard line from the 44, and it's going to be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down, and that's the way we like it, baby.
Kenai is only 5'6", 145 pounds, Bob, but he's an elusive runner, makes a lot of moves there, makes defenders miss, and they finally take him down after a 19-yard pickup.
And his brother Kenai split out wide to the right on the far side of the field. Stevens will operate from the near side hash mark. The wings are Decker and Carson. Here's the snap. Decker in motion. He's got the football. He'll try to take it on the right side. He stays on his feet, and he's a tough running back. He gives you everything he's got. And a nice run there by Isaac Decker for 7 yards.
He's down to the 18-yard line. Yeah, it's a nice compliment between Decker's running and Carson's running, and they both make a potent duo there.
2nd and 3, for the Railsplitters. 9:13 here in the third quarter. Stevens looks along the line of scrimmage out of that wing, and the wings again are Carson. And now they hand off in the backfield.
That looked like Bunner, I think. Is that 11?
Bunner. Yes, again, that is Peyton Bunner, the sophomore. He's a speedster himself.
He's down to about the 9, I think. He picked up 9 on that.
And that's a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down for the Lincoln Railsplitters. 1st and goal at the 9 for the Railsplitter. Stevens looks along the line of scrimmage. Got the snap.
That's Bunner.
Bunner off the right side on the 1st and goal.
Nice blocking up front there between the guards and tackles. He had a nice lane there to run and picked up nice yardage on a first down play.
Up there blocking on that right side is Joe Dom. And Sanders is up there, Frank Sanders on that right side. 8 minutes left in the third. Railsplitters on a 2nd and goal now from the 4. They break the huddle. O'Donohue up over the football. Stevens takes his time out of the gun. Man in motion. Hands up. Whoa, nice play by the Maroons. One of the linebackers. Lauderdale on the tackle for the Maroons.
That was Bunner again. That was this.
Just outside the 6-yard line for Lincoln.
Third carry.
Loss of 2 there, so it'll be 3rd and goal for the Railsplitters. Nice tackle there by Lauderdale. Split the Lincoln Railer offensive line. Now Stevens backs off out of the gun. He's got the handoff.
Little counter right up. I stopped him short, I think. Still going.
Decker on the carry.
That's Decker. He won't give up easy.
The goal line.
He's on about down to.
Got down to about the 1-yard line.
Looks like the.
Silver Maroons in on the stop.
Maybe the 1 or 2. I can't tell. 1-yard line.
That's 4th and goal at the 1.
4th
4th and goal at the 1. Stevens might just keep it. He's got the snap. No, he hands off.
He's in.
Touchdown, Railsplitters.
Keon Carson.
Keon Carson with his 4th touchdown of the game from a yard out. That'll make the score Railsplitters 27, Maroons 0, 6:34 left in the third quarter. And Angel will attempt the extra point again.
27-0 with 6:34.
It'll be O'Donohue on the snap and Decker on the hold. On the placement.
Decker the holder, Harrow the kick.
Harrow steps it off. Angel Harrow, he's 3 for 3. Looks for his 4th point, extra point. Here's the snap, the placement, the kick's on the way, and it's through the uprights. And the Railsplitters lead at 28-0, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Running errands, shuttling kids to practices, and still have to stop by the store. Sound familiar? At Town & Country Bank, we love seeing our customers, but we know that can't always happen. That's why we make managing your money easy with our mobile app. You can deposit checks, transfer funds, or make payments through your smartphone or tablet. Plus, we offer text banking and an interactive online budget tool to keep you on track. Visit townandcountrybank.com to learn more. Town & Country Bank, side by side, member FDIC.
From the one, that was Keon Carson, and the Railsplitters playing a pretty good game tonight, Coach.
Yeah, the offense is, they're kind of explosive. I mean, they got some speed, and that's showing out there, and getting some pretty good blocking up front. We don't always keep an eye on that quite as much as we probably should, but trying to watch everything else and getting a good job.
Angel kicks it away.
There's a whistle. There's a real whistle.
We do have
a real whistle. It seems like that's cut down here in the second half.
Maybe. I still think
you're still hearing those ghost riders blowing their whistles.
Maybe it's my ears, yeah.
No, I hear it too. And your most favorite listener, she's hearing it too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Daughter Hillary Texan said she was hearing it too on YouTube.
If Hillary's hitting it, where's she at? In St. Louis?
St. Charles.
Well, she's hearing it all the way across the river. So Angel going to kick it away now from the 35-yard line. He steps it off. He's got his routine that he goes through. He knows what he's doing. And here's the approach by Angel. He boots it away. A low line shot. That's a shot. Picked up at the 15. You're right, the 30. They get that good blocking coming upfield. Almost breaks it loose, but taken down. Gets across the 45-yard line.
Good start here for the Maroons.
Yeah, that was some good blocking and maybe not so good tackling there initially. And Raylor still had somebody back there to make the stop, but not before they got near in midfield. They're on their own 47-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Clinton Maroons. You're right, Coach, at their own, I'd call that the 47.
Yeah, that's a great return.
47-yard line.
And that's after a nice long line drive kickoff. He got it down there.
Yeah,
deep.
That was a shot. Walker deep in that high snap. He hangs on to it.
Hang on to it. There you go.
But he's not going anywhere. 3 Railsplitters took him down for a loss.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want to swarm to the ball, and Lincoln had 4 Railers there around it.
Bring up a 2nd and about 12.
Loss at 2, they say. 2nd and a dozen. 6:07 left for the third. Railsplitters lead at 28-0 on 4 touchdowns by Keon Carson.
I looked that up, how many he had last year altogether. I can't find it now, but a great start for the season for Keon.
Walker out of the gun's got the snap. Hands off. I believe that's Potts, and he gets a good block.
Yeah.
He's up just short of a first down into Lincoln territory at the 46-yard line of Lincoln.
Isaac Decker on the stop for Lincoln.
Isaac Decker on the tackle for the Lincoln Railsplitters.
What the Railers are going to work on, what they're going to want to be able to do is string together some stops. They make a nice stop for a 2-yard gain, then turn around and give up 9 yards on the next play. And they'd like to make some bigger stops and shorter gains there by the offense.
Walker on a long count now, trying to pull us offside. Railsplitter's not going to be suckered this time. Here's the snap and the handoff. That's Potts.
Yeah,
nice blocking, and he's up. He's got a first down. First and 10 for the Maroons. It looks like they're going to spot it at the 35, Coach.
Yeah, and you said it right. You know, some nice blocking up front, and he runs hard with the ball, but he's got a nice alley. They block that down to the inside, and the Railers outside guy can't come back in and make the stop, and now you got linebackers in secondary trying to make stops, but not before big gains, and that was a nice big gain, another 9-yarder.
Railsplitters with a 4-touchdown lead. They can't let these guys run wild. There's a high snap and a nice catch, but there's a tackle. Well, he held him up, and then they tackled. First guy there for the Railsplitters, that was number 41, Jared Foltz. Foltz was the first guy there, and he held him up long enough for the rest of the gang to get there.
Yeah, that was a nice stop. A nice gang tackle again in the backfield by the Railers to stop it. Now there's a injured Maroon out here near their sideline.
Hate to see that.
I think he had a leg injury or something. I'm not sure what it was, but that's what it looked like when I saw him go down.
I had a meal before the game, and I always say a prayer for both teams before I come to the game.
Yeah.
Nobody gets hurt. You hate to see that. Young high school kids out there playing their hearts out. Trainers out there with the young man. A couple of officials over there. 4:19 remains here in the third. All the players down on their knees, very quiet.
I think he might have a cramp, maybe, the way they're treating him.
Lincoln leads at 28-0.
It's warm out there on the field, Bob. I mean, it's a nice, great night for football, but it's warm, and kids playing hard, and sometimes you get cramps this time of year.
Well, I tell you what, let's just take a 30-second timeout.
Well,
wait till they get him off the field. They got plenty of water out there for all the players. And we're ready to go. So it's going to be second or first and 10, isn't it?
Second and 12.
Second and 12.
They lost a couple on that play. Yeah.
Second and 12 at the Lincoln 37-yard line. Mason Walker out of the gun. He's got one lone running back. One wide receiver here to the near side. Here's the snap. He wanted to keep it himself, and a nice tackle.
That's 69. That's Sanders. Is that Frank Sanders?
That's Frank Sanders,
wow.
Sophomore. 6'2", 195. That's good size, and he's fast.
Well, yeah, he didn't get touched, and he's playing at where's he playing?
Is he an outside line? He's
not even on our defensive card.
Yeah, he is. Isn't he? No, he's on the offensive side. You're right.
Yeah, 41, but yeah, he showed great quickness there for 4-yard loss and made a tackle by himself. So it's a third and about.
They got him listening to the defensive line. He might be a defensive end out there.
Yeah, he must be out there.
We have a timeout on the field.
Timeout on the field, called by the Railsplitters with 3:24 left in the third quarter. Railsplitters lead at 28-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds this time.
Hollandberry and Bennett Funeral Home was built on a tradition of trust and caring. Located in Lincoln, Hollandberry and Bennett is family-owned and operated, offering loved ones comfortable facilities and caring professionals Chris and Leslie Bennett. Loss of a loved one is one of the most difficult challenges anyone can face, and it's important to have a funeral home you can trust to provide peace of mind while adhering to the highest standards of care. Call 217-732-2638 or learn more at hbbfh.com.
Running errands, shuttling kids to practices, and still have to stop by the store. Sound familiar? At Town & Country Bank, we love seeing our customers, but we know that can't always happen. That's why we make managing your money easy with our mobile app. You can deposit checks, transfer funds, or make payments through your smartphone or tablet. Plus, we offer text banking and an interactive online budget tool to keep you on track. Visit townandcountrybank.com to learn more. Town & Country Bank, side by side, member FDIC.
Coverage there by the Railers on they lined 3 receivers up here on the right side wide, and they all took off different routes, and he rolled to his right, and that's hard for a left-hander to roll to your right and throw it, but he got it down there. But as you said, the Railers had good coverage on it.
So, Coach, that's going to make it 4th and 16 at the Lincoln 40-yard line. And I wouldn't put anything past these Maroons. They've made some big plays before.
No, they don't punt. They're going to run it. They're do something, run or throw, and Railers got to be ready for it.
Mason Walker's got the snap.
Oh, he punted.
Oh, he does punt.
It got partially blocked, I think. It went off somebody.
And it bounces. It took a Lincoln bounce.
Comes down about the 25-yard line.
At the 27-yard line, it'll be Chris Coyne, State Farm Insurance first down, and that's the way we like it, baby. With 3:10 left in the third quarter, Railsplitters lead at 28-0. And Darren Stevens and the gang will come back out on the field. As we told you, Lincoln's got 5 captains this year. Jaden Ledley, Ryan O'Donohue, Isaac Decker, the aforementioned Darren Stevens, and Peyton Johnson. 1st and 10 for the Railsplitters at their own 28-yard line. 3:10 left, third quarter. Stevens in that wing formation out of the guns, got the football.
Oh, big hole.
Hands off to his tailback, and he's up across the 35, 37, 38-yard line, and that is Bunner.
Hand off to Bunner. He gets out.
Nice hole there at the line of scrimmage, and he shot through it, Bob, and got a nice yardage out to about the 37.
Peyton Bunner, he spells it Paytan, Bunner. The sophomore, 5'11", 175, a young speedster for the Railsplitters.
That's his 8th carry already of the game, Bob, and he's picked up 40 yards.
Between Keon and Isaac and this new Bunner kid, we got a lot of speed in that backfield. 2nd and 1. Stevens gets the snap. He hands off. That's number 34, I believe. That is Cade Huskins. He's a sophomore, 5'8", 180. Cade Huskins getting that grab onto the pigskin there. And did he pick up a first down?
He didn't need much.
Did. And that's going to be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down, and that's the way we like it, baby.
1st and 10.
Cade Huskins.
A 7-yard pickup on his first carry for the year.
The 44-yard line of Lincoln. O'Donohue snaps it. Hand off. Keon Carson breaks a tackle, makes the turn, still on his feet, into enemy territory, and it's going to be another Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down, and that's really the way we like it, baby. Into Carson, into Maroon territory.
Well, he looked like they were going to stop him, and he just kind of used his speed to get away from tacklers and shake them off, and picked up some nice yardage there into Maroon territory down to the 44.
1st and 10 for the Railsplitters. Kind of uniforms I like, where you can clearly read the numerals.
Yeah, that was a 12-yard pickup, Bob. Unofficially, we got him just hitting the 100-yard mark right there.
Split wide out to the right. That's Colby Glenn. And as Coach told you, 100 yards for Keon Carson, and add 4 touchdowns to that.
Not too shabby a game.
No, sir.
Open the season.
There he goes in motion. Now Stevens spins with the ball. Wants to... Did he get rid of it?
Yeah, he did.
He got rid of it. He was under a lot of pressure, and he got rid of it.
Yeah, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if he threw it short and into the ground on purpose there.
You know, I wouldn't mind if he didn't run all year. I don't want to see him get hurt. We got plenty of running backs.
Yeah. It's nice to have the threat out there, but you're right. He's does a nice job as managing the game there, making handoffs, and is throwing the ball well. We've seen a lot here already tonight, Bob, in almost all of 3 quarters here to be encouraged by this Railer offense and defense.
2nd and 10 for the Railsplitters. Minute 41 left in the third quarter. They lead at 28-0. Stevens out of the gun in that wing formation. He's got a lone running back behind him.
He's got the ball.
And that, trying to pick up
34.
That's that new guy in there, 34.
Huskins.
Cade Huskins, the sophomore.
First down run.
He got it down to the 40, so give him about 4 yards on the play.
4 yards on the play.
It's a third down and 6.
I want to thank Farm and Home Supply for being a sponsor for us. Triplet Heating and Cooling, Holland and Barry Bennett Funeral Home, and Town and Country Bank, all fine sponsors of the Rail Splitters. 3rd and 6 for the Rail Splitters. The Clinton 40. Here's Keon Carson. Makes the turn. He goes out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it at?
No, it's almost like a horse collar tackle.
Across the 35, maybe?
Out of bounds, but looks like it may be enough for a...
I thought he might turn it up. Looked like he had room to turn that up, but he kept going to the outside. He got it to the 34, and that's enough for a first down.
That's a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down, and that's the way we like it, baby, as they move the chains on the near side hash mark. No huddle. Here we go again. Rail Splitters out of the gun. 1st and 10 at the Clinton 34. This time they hand it off to Bunner. Bunner off the right side got a nice block and picked up some good yardage there. He crossed the 30 and got a 6-yard gain there, Bunner, and they're going to spot it maybe at the 29-yard line, 28-yard line. 2nd and 4 now for the Rail Splitters. We're in the red for the third quarter. 28 seconds for the quarter. Rail Splitters lead it 28-0. As you'll notice, all other broadcasters say nothing, and I was ordered by my mother years and years ago to say 0.
She's a wise lady, so you have done a good job at listening.
Yes.
Did we fumble? Did we get
fumble?
It looks like the Maroons have come.
Maroons picked up the fumble right here at the end of the third quarter. 4.3 seconds left in the third quarter, and the Maroons are going to have 1st and 10.
Well, that's the first turnover of the game of the season for the Railers. Unfortunately, it was during a nice march that started on their own 28 and got down to the 40 or to the Maroon 28 before Lincoln turned it over.
Well, nothing to lose for the Maroons there. They probably just punched it loose to stop the drive of the Rail Splitters. 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. The Maroons, Mason Walker, and a timeout.
On first down. With that, we have a timeout.
They didn't like what they saw. They're going to take a timeout, and we'll take a timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Worried about your friend, but don't know how to reach out?
You can say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you. You can chat with them in VR. It's so good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Get some coverage out there.
1st and 10 for the Maroons, their own 28-yard line. Mason Walker, wild snap, hands it off. Good coverage there by the Rail Splitters, and his coach says a gang tackle, and may have got about 3 yards out of that.
Leveling in on the tackle, and with that play, that will be the end.
And that's going to be the end of the third quarter with the score, Lincoln Rail Splitters 28 and the Clinton Maroons 0. And we're just going to keep it right here. The Rail Splitters picked up a touchdown there in the third quarter, and that was on a 1-yard run, I believe, by Keon Carson. And Angel kicked the extra point.
Yep.
And then in that first half, of course, Angel had the 50-yard romp early on, and then Darren Stevens hitting for the 64-yard pass, and then another 2-yard touchdown by Keon Carson, and then Angel Harrow always kicks the extra point.
Yeah, he's done a nice job kicking off also tonight. And the Railers were driving there. They were inside the 30 there before that fumble, so potentially a 5th touchdown was thwarted because of that. But Maroons are going to come out. They got a quarter left here. They're going to want to try to get to the end zone at least once, if not more. But we'll see how this last quarter goes.
So they're switching ends of the field here. It's going to be 2nd and 8 at the 30-yard line.
Thank you so much. It's only on that one date.
Here's a quick announcement. The Clinton High School Color Guard will
Here we go.
Monday fundraiser out at Monocle's Pizza on Tuesday, September 6, 2022. Visit Monocle's to help the Clinton.
2nd and 8 at the 30. Mason Walker up under center. They're trying to pull us off sides. And there's those fake whistles again. And here's a nice run to the 50, 45, 40. And the biggest play of the game for the Clinton Maroons before the tackle. That was Walker on the run. And Kanai Carson with a touchdown-saving tackle.
Yeah, well, that's speed is what helped that play. You know, Lincoln sometimes in years past didn't have that speed to catch that rusher. But that time Kanai got there and made the stop, but not before they got down to the 31 of the Railers. And not very good work at the line of scrimmage as he broke through and got the big gain.
1st and 10. This time Walker comes up under center. Got a man in motion. He rolls out to good pressure there.
Oh, fumble! Yeah, I think they got on it.
Good job. That was
Greatest hit on the play. Ball comes loose, but it is recovered by the
was one of the Railers hurt there. He was the guy that made the tackle.
Oh, yeah, I can't see who is it. He's on the ground. That might be a cramp the way they're holding his leg.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's a cramp. With the heat here tonight. Because he walked about 5-10 yards away from the play.
Yeah, I didn't see. There was 2 Railers in there on the quarterback, and
he's the guy that made the hit.
Yeah. He's getting up now. Who is that? I can't see his number.
Is it 60-something?
He's limping off. 69, yeah. That's Sanders, Frank Sanders.
Frank Sanders played a great game tonight.
Yeah. He's quick for 6'2", 195. He showed some quickness out there.
You're right, Coach. Lightning quick. Yeah, he just cramped up there. So now the ball is going to be at the 41-yard line. 2nd and 20 after that tackle by Frank Sanders. 2nd and 11 on the clock, 4th quarter. Up under center is Walker, man in motion. They give it to the first running back through, and he gets a nice push. Picks up, about 3 yards? Maybe if they good spot, maybe they'll give him 4. Decker in on the tackle for the Railsplitters.
Where did they put that? Oh, there he is. I was looking for the ball.
Yeah, the push was up there to the 36-yard line.
He got about 5 yards on that.
3rd and 15 now. Walker going back up under center again. They've got a wing formation. Man in motion.
He's got it.
And he's got another nice push. That could be a first down there for the Maroons.
Yeah, he's still got another 8 or 9 yards to go there because that big loss. Yeah.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong.
Yeah.
Good thing you're smarter than me.
There's 2 sticks over there, Bob.
4th and 9. That's right. They got 2 sticks.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be 4th and 9 at the 30.
That was a 6-yard pickup. You know, they can't take anything for granted here. They've got some weapons here on offense. They got 3 wide receivers now on the left, so watch for a throw.
And he's got the arm to do it. Here's the snap. He just needs some, good coverage by the Railers.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That is
Colby Glenn chasing him down. That was a great job.
He was lucky to get rid of the thing, but it's going to be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down for the Railsplitters, and that's the way we like it, baby.
Yeah, Colby forced him to throw the ball before he wanted to, and that's why he threw it into the dirt, and great defensive play there.
We're getting the signal from the signal man. And let's see here. Oh, a jersey change. Isaac Decker is now wearing the number 34 because he had blood on his other jersey, and that's no surprise the way he plays.
Yeah.
So Isaac Decker's number 34 now. There's a timeout on the field. Isaac Decker's number, So So 9:46 left here in the fourth quarter. The Railsplitters lead it 28-0 on 4 Keon Carson touchdowns. And you said he's got over 100 yards, Coach?
Yeah, I think unofficially that's what we have him down for. If I could find it.
I'll tell you that Lloyd Kirby's something else. It's almost like he's down on the sideline.
How does he know that?
I don't know how he knows that. He's like a wizard.
He's got an in with somebody.
What?
Keon had 7 rushing touchdowns last year and 4 receiving, so he's on his way to breaking that already here in week 1.
He was originally number 13. He is now number 13.
Now they're making the PA announcers making that.
You know, maybe Lloyd's on the staff down there, on the coaching staff.
I think he is.
I think so too.
Maybe there's 2 or 3 of him.
Lloyd's? Oh my.
Lloyd Kirby.
Oh,
Stevens got the snap. And that's Keon Carson and a flag. 4-yard pickup. That was a 1st and 10 at the 30.
Preliminary signal is holding against Lincoln.
Holding on the Railsplitters.
And it is holding against the
We played a penalty-free third quarter for both sides after some several penalties in the first half. And here's the first one now of this half. It's a 10-yarder against the Railers.
10 yards, that'll push it back to the 20, so it'll be 2nd and 20. With 9:41 left in the fourth quarter. 28-0.
So that'll bring up and about 18.
So Kenai Carson splits it here to the near side. They're on the far side hash mark. Stevens out of the gun. He's got a man in motion. Hands off to him. He stays on his feet.
Yes.
That's
Decker.
That's Isaac Decker wearing the number 34 now. He's across the 30 up to around the 32, 33-yard line. Nice run by Decker. And you said it earlier, Decker and Carson complement each other nicely. You try to key on Keon Carson, the next thing you know, Decker's got big yardage.
Yeah, and we've seen a couple other good runners tonight too. Bunner has done a nice job for the Railers, and they got a couple other kids that can carry the ball too.
Ryan O'Donohue looking along the line of scrimmage. He's the center. He's the captain up on that line. Snaps it. Here's the handoff. Wow. That looks like Keon Carson. It is Keon Carson. He's upended, but not before he gets a first down. Cross the 45. That's
I think that was Decker. I think that was Decker, 34.
Was it?
Yeah, that was Decker.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
7-yard line. That'll give Lincoln another first down.
That's a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down. That's the way we like it.
That's 15 yards again. And he's having a really good year, a good game here, out to the 47 on that, and another first down.
Isaac Decker makes it 1st and 10, as Coach said, at the 47-yard line. Still in Lincoln territory. I believe that's Kenai Carson split wide out there to the left. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I think they're taking their time here, letting the game clock run down a little bit, or the play clock. I'm sorry.
Stevens.
There's
hands up. This time it's Kenai Carson. Keon Carson.
There goes a flag.
A flag. He had a first down, but there's a flag on the play.
Two flags.
Snowing flags in August.
49-yard line on both sides.
7:53 left for the fourth quarter. Lincoln leads at 28-0.
Holding
against Lincoln.
Against the Railsplitters.
That's a 10-yard penalty. And they're going to take it back to the 42-yard line. 7:53 left for the game. Lincoln leads at 28-0. 1st and 15 for the Railsplitters. We haven't seen Darren Stevens air it out for a while.
No, and with a 4-touchdown, 28-point lead, you probably aren't going to.
Just burn that clock on the ground.
Yeah, I think so.
There, a nice opening there for the Railsplitters. Very nice run.
Nice run, yeah. Almost a first down, if not a first down, and that's Decker.
Isaac Decker.
Just about 15, maybe 16 yards based on the side.
Depends on the. It looks like a first down to me, and that's a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down, and that's the way we like it, baby. They move the chains. The clock keeps running. 1st and 10 for the Railsplitters at the Clinton 43-yard line. O'Donohue up over the football for the Railsplitters. Stevens fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, throws it up ahead, complete along the sideline.
That's Bunner, I think.
Yep. Peyton Bunner, he's a surprise. We didn't see him coming. A nice Christmas present here in August for the Railsplitters. Just short of the first down. Ball spotted about an inch away from a first down. 2nd and 1 for the Railsplitters at the 34-yard line. Kenai Carson split. No, he's going to be split wide to the right here on the near side. Railsplitters will line it up on the far side hash mark. Stevens takes his time, lets that game clock run down. He's hands off, right side. That looks like Isaac Decker.
Bunner, I think.
Is it Bunner?
I think so, yep.
Bunner to the 30. 4-yard pickup. Man, he's fast. 6:14 left for the game. Next week we'll be in Charleston, Illinois. First game in the Apollo Conference for the year.
That was Bunner's 10th carry tonight of the game.
He's doing a great job.
Yeah. And we decide, is he a sophomore or junior?
I'll have to look at my notes again.
Oh, fumble, get on it.
Oh, fumble.
He got on it.
He's a sophomore. Sophomore.
But after that fumble and the recovery by Lincoln, will be a loss of 2.
Loss of 2 for the Railsplitters after that fumble. Clock on the move. 5:30 left for the game. O'Donohue going to get the snap. There's the handoff.
Yeah.
Decker down across the 25. You know, and we lost another one of our great fans. It's been a tough year for Railsplitter fans. Danny O'Donohue.
Yeah.
He had a grandson that played a few years back.
That was Decker right there on that carry. So he's getting close to 100 yards himself. Picked up 7 on that.
3rd and 5 for the Railsplitters at the 25.
Joe Dom was leading the blocking on that downfield and did a nice job to give Decker a chance to pick up those 7 yards.
Joe Dom, he even plays in the band. They can do it all. Here's the snap. Stevens hands it off right side.
That's a Bunner.
Bunner going to be close to a first down. Lauderdale in on the tackle for the Maroons. Ball just a football link across the 20, and that's going to be a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down. That's the way we like it, baby.
Was that about a 6-yard pickup for Bunner?
From the 19.
I'm losing track here, Bob.
Yeah,
they're on the 19.
I'll give him 6. It's 1st and 10. Under 4 minutes now. At the 20. Darren Stevens, his first varsity.
Whoa.
That's Keon Carson. He's hit hard and knocked back.
It looked like a little late snap there. Maybe it was just me, but it looked like a little delay there.
Yeah, late developing play, and unfortunately for Keon, he's all right. Yeah. He took a hard hit there.
No gain on that one.
Looks like they will give him maybe 1. So we'll bring up the 2nd and 9.
2nd down for the Railsplitters.
Just inside the 20 of the Maroons.
They gave him 36 inches.
All right, we're getting
22 and counting here. Left to play in the
3:20 left to play. 28-0 Railsplitters. They're burning clock here, marching towards the end zone. Stevens gets the snap. Hands off right side.
Nice tackle there.
Bunner. Got back to the line of scrimmage. That'll keep the clock moving. Going under 3 minutes now. Donahue in on the tackle for the Maroons.
He's had a nice game, Donahue. He's a nice individual one-on-one tackle there.
Down at 9 for Lincoln from the 19-yard line.
Ball at the 19. 2:44 left for the game. Railsplitters in no hurry now. They just let the clock run down. One of the Railers running the play in now. O'Donohue will come up over the football. Stevens
that
calls timeout.
Play clock was running down, and so they took timeout to save the penalty.
2:27 left for the game. Railsplitters lead at 28-0. As we said, next week we'll be in Charleston. Coach Ken Schweitzer does all the driving for us. Well paid, Bobby V's chauffeur.
Oh, yeah. It's an honor, Bob. It's an honor.
Well, thank you. He picks me up over.
Plus, this way we don't get lost too much.
No.
Occasionally.
I'll tell you what, in the Apollo, it's some exciting drives sometimes. You know the only place we ever get messed up? You know where it's at.
Yeah, I know, in town.
In Decatur.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. In the city, yeah.
But somehow we make our way out of it.
Yeah, we've seen some neighborhoods, though.
And if you Google Earth on it, it makes it even worse. So you just got to go on instinct.
Out of the timeout, it'll be 3rd down and 9 for Lincoln from the 19-yard line of the Maroons.
3rd and 9 for the Railsplitters at the 19. 2:27 left on the 4th quarter clock, the game clock. Railsplitters lead at 28-0. Stevens out of the guns, got the snap, hands off, and 4 Maroons there to tackle Keon Carson. That's the first time he's ever lost yardage in his life.
I don't know about his life, but they got some good penetration there, and Lincoln wasn't able to stop him at the line of scrimmage. And they
21-yard line.
Where'd they place it? Oh, they only put it on the 21, so they only lost 2 on that.
Everything's kind of slowed down like we're in quicksand right now. Clock keeps running, though. That's good.
Well, the outcome has not been in doubt here for quite a while, but Railers would like to, with under 2 minutes now, would like to keep the possession here at the end, but it's going to be tough. 4th and 11.
4th and 11. We might see the Stevens arm here. Here's the snap. Rolls out. He's under pressure. There's the throw, and he just throws it away.
We got a penalty flag down now, so I don't know who that's going to be on.
Ball's incomplete, but there is a flag down on.
It's going to be an interference on somebody. Don't know who.
Stop the clock at 1:41. It was a 4th and 11 situation.
It was definitely underthrown because he was rolling to his left under a lot of pressure, so he just got rid of the ball.
Yeah.
It's going to be on.
Pass interference against the Maroons.
Yep.
Wow. Got a break there.
Yep.
So, is that going to be a first down?
I don't remember in high school what they do. It's
that penalty and walk-off.
Big chunk of real estate for us, no matter what.
It's down to the 10.
And that's where we had to go for a first down, so it's going to be 1st and goal.
Yep.
And that's a Chris Coyne State Farm Insurance first down for the Railsplitters, and that's the way we like it.
Well, now they got it marked 4th down, so maybe he's short.
Okay, so we still got the down, though.
I think the chain guy over there is finally getting it. They moved too soon, I think. They weren't. Now it's going to be 4th and maybe inches.
Yeah, you're right.
Now what do we got to do?
So it looks like it will still be 4th down for Lincoln. 4th down and 1.
Yeah.
4th down in a football link.
Get a little push up front. You ought to be able to take it straight ahead and get your first down.
Here we go. Up under center goes Darren Stevens.
Straight ahead, buddy. There
He's a quarterback sneak, but he's not going anywhere.
He was on the keeper. He got stood up. Looks like he got.
Yeah, he initially he didn't have it, but I think maybe he lunged forward to get it. See where they place it, though.
Good job up front by the Maroons. Oh, turnover on that.
Nope, he did not get it.
They stopped him. Yeah, they stood him up. It looked like he may have gotten it, but
well, his feet stopped too, and then he couldn't get any momentum after that.
And it was just a little bit farther than we thought. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Clinton Maroons. 1:27 left for the football game. As Coach said, the game never has been in doubt, but we got to play the whole game.
Yeah. Well, we'll see with a minute and a half, I wouldn't be surprised to see them try to move the ball down the field here, maybe throwing the ball a little bit.
You're right, Coach. He'll try and air it out. Mason Walker, the junior, out of the shotgun. He's got 4 or 5 receivers. A lot of pressure on him. He gets rid of it, and it's complete, like at the 15. Ball was at the 10.
Ledley made a nice stop there after the catch.
Jaden Ledley. And they got a first down. The Maroons with a first down. They stop the clock with 1:17, and they spot the ball at the 22-yard line. No huddle. Here they come in a hurry. Mason Walker got the snap. This time he's got plenty of time along the sideline, gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Walker's pass completed.
At the 27, that was Isaiah Reynolds on the tackle for the Railsplitters. He's a senior.
That pass is open for him, and Lincoln's letting him get that pass. They're playing a little soft out there, which normally you would do in this situation, and he's finding somebody in the... There's another
Whoa,
pass,
nice open field tackle there.
That's Ledley. Ledley's had a nice game defensively tonight.
Yeah, I mean, guys like Ledley and Decker and Keon Carson, they always come up big for you every game.
That was a 2-yard loss. Besides his 2 interceptions early back in that first half, he's been in on a lot of tackles tonight.
Isaac Decker, 3rd and 6. Here's the snap. Walker rolls to his left. A lot of whoa, nice.
Oh, Ledley almost had number 3. It was in his hands and popped out. Great effort.
And it was great pressure there by Colby Glenn. He was the guy chasing him, Coach.
And Ledley's down now. I don't know if that's a cramp or what. I didn't get hit or anything.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's...
Yeah, it's a cramp. I hope so.
Glenn hit Walker.
He's looking up. Might be something else.
35 seconds to play here.
Yeah, I didn't see any hard contact or anything. He just had the ball in his hands and it got away from him.
35.6 seconds left for the game. Lincoln leads at 28-0. You're listening to 96.3 WLCN out of Atlanta, Lincoln, Illinois. And you can pick us up on WLCNonline.com. Back at the station, it's been Winnie Ransdell and Jolie Lurcher. And of course, the always present Lloyd Kirby with us, bringing it to you. Yeah, the Maroons take a knee. Ledley, he's sitting up.
Yeah,
so it might be something besides a cramp.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he's just going to...
Now he's up.
He's going to limp off, and that's indicative of having cramps. But
tough kid. He's walking
and he's played hard tonight, both sides, on both sides of the ball. So he's a...
I think we got 6 guys play both sides. So, like I said, 35.6 seconds left. As soon as Jaden makes the long walk across the field. How wide is a football field? 50 yards?
Sure.
That's what I thought. He only got to go 49 yards.
It's a 4th down here, so it's either get the first down or turn it over to the Railers.
It wouldn't surprise me if they picked it up. Walker's got the snap.
He's got some time.
He's got time
now.
in the pocket.
He completed it. He was being covered by
that's a first down.
Peyton Johnson was on the coverage, was right with him, but nice throw and a nice catch. And now he's a little slow getting up.
Now the guy tackled, he's shook up. He's fighting his way up.
Got up to about the 32 for the first down.
29 seconds left of the game now. 1st and 10 for the Maroons. You've got to get the injured player off the field. It's another cramp. Wilson's walking off.
After his big reception, it will give the Maroons a first down. So it will be 1st and 10.
1st and 10 for the Maroons, and they start the clock up. 24 seconds. Walker's got the play. Runs back into the huddle. 17 seconds for the game. Walker out of the gun. 13 seconds. Here's the snap. Rolls to his left. Has time, throws along the sideline and out of bounds. Will stop the clock with 4.3 seconds left of the game.
One more play for him. Yeah, he just overthrew his receiver there, trying to get it up over the defenders, and not much chance of a completion there. So they got time for one play left, and this game will be done.
4.3 seconds. And that, that'll be second 10. Should be second 10 for him at the 33. One more play here. Up under center. Hands it off.
Keeps it.
Oh, you're right.
Nope, you're right. He gave it off. I thought he was keeping it, and then he gave it off, and that's it.
That's going to end the ball game. Goose Eggs on the board, and the Railsplitters win it 28-0. Compliments of 4 touchdowns by Keon Garson. And now both teams will line up and shake hands. Good sportsmanship. We got out of this game with no serious injuries, just a lot of cramps out there.
Yeah, that's weather had a little bit to do with that, but it was a good game. Mistakes on both sides, things to work on for the upcoming week. But Clinton did a nice job, hung in there with the Railers. After last year's game over at Hanlon Field, and that was what you'd call a blowout. And I think Clinton has shown some comeback out of there. Only losing by 4 touchdowns, and so the Railers, a good first game of the season, and as we said, next week they jump into conference play.
Good opponent, as you said, Coach, for the Railsplitters to start the season, and Keon had over 100 yards in the ball game, and he said Isaac was close.
Yeah, unofficially we had him for 103, and Isaac, we unofficially had him at 96. So our stats sometimes are off a few, but we'll see what the coach comes up with their official statistics and go from there. But good game, good 3 interceptions, led the defense there, and Railers had a nice night overall.
Keon had his 4 touchdowns. He had the 50-yard run, the 64-yard passing play, the 2-yard run, and the 1-yard run.
Yep, good night for him, and good night overall for the offense and the defense. And like I said, they got things to work on, and that's always good too.
I want to thank all our fine sponsors and our listeners. I want to thank Lloyd Kirby. I want to thank Winnie Ransdell and Jolie Lurcher back at the station. I want to thank General Manager Jim Ash for WLCN 96.3 and WLCNonline.com. I want to thank my partner, Coach Ken Schweitzer. It was a good night for the Railsplitters. They win 28-0. Next week we'll be in Charleston. And we want to thank all our fine listeners for listening to the Lincoln Railsplitter Experience. Thank you, and we'll see you next week on the road again in Charleston. Thanks for listening. Final score, Lincoln Railsplitters 28 and the Clinton Maroons 0.
WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com present Lincoln Community High School Railsplitter Football. WLCN's live stream video coverage of Railer football is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Chestnut Health Systems, offering a comprehensive scope of behavioral health and human services in Illinois and Missouri. Phone 888-924-3786. Me Realty, locally owned and operated. Me Realty is Logan County's top producing real estate agency year after year. Call 217-735-5424 or browse listings online at merealty.com. Farm and Home Supply. Shop Farm and Home Supply for all your farm, home, and outdoor needs. Stop by at 1501 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Triplet Heating and Cooling, servicing all brands of residential and commercial HVAC systems in the Lincoln and Logan County area. Call 217-651-8683, Triplet Heating and Cooling, an authorized Bryant dealer. Hollenberry and Bennett Funeral Home, providing peace of mind while adhering to the highest standards of care. Family owned and operated by Chris and Leslie Bennett. Call 217-732-2638 or learn more at hbbfh.com. Town & Country Bank, a proud sponsor of Lincoln Railer football, Town & Country Bank helps empower the financial well-being of communities, one person at a time. Online at townandcountrybank.com. Thank you for watching WLCN's coverage of Lincoln Railsplitter football. Hollenberry and Bennett Funeral Home was built on a tradition of trust and caring. Located in Lincoln, Hollenberry and Bennett is family-owned and operated, offering loved ones comfortable facilities and caring professionals Chris and Leslie Bennett. Loss of a loved one is one of the most difficult challenges anyone can face, and it's important to have a funeral home you can trust to provide peace of mind while adhering to the highest standards of care. Call 217-732-2638 or learn more at hbbfh.com.
Running errands, shuttling kids to practices, and still have to stop by the store. Sound familiar? At Town & Country Bank, we love seeing our customers, but we know that can't always happen. That's why we make managing your money easy with our mobile app. You can deposit checks, transfer funds, or make payments through your smartphone or tablet. Plus, we offer text banking and an interactive online budget tool to keep you on track. Visit townandcountrybank.com to learn more. Town & Country Bank, side by side, member FDIC.
The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.